Hello everyone, Shadefyre here, and it's been a couple weeks since I did any monster hunting, but welcome to another Monster Hunter Rise Boss Bytes, where we're going to be going after the Rakna-Kadaki today, which is one of the first high-rank only monsters that you unlock access to. Unfortunately, this is not going to be the first time I'm fighting it, as I actually fucked up when I was trying to record this before. I thought I was recording my first attempt, but it turned out I forgot to start the actual video recording, so I ended up with just a commentary track and no video. So, we're recording my second time fighting the Rakna-Kadaki, so a little less surprise, but also likely less of a chance of me getting killed, because I got downed twice, I think, in my first fight, as she is indeed a tough mama.
How can I help you?
She turned out not to be exactly the type of fight I was expecting. I kind of thought she'd be like a big wall-mounted enemy that you'd spend most of the time fighting in like one spot, but of course that doesn't really fit with Monster Hunter's sort of system, as the only really locationally stationary bosses are ones that have special arenas built for them, so instead she is more mobile. This is also one of the only insectoid kind of bosses in the whole series. There are very few of them. But she's sort of a spider.
Good luck out there.
We're also going to be using the Anjanath armor, or the high-rank Anjanath armor here with a longsword, because the armor doesn't have any good abilities, but it's the only good fire resistance armor I have, and the alternative would be the Rathalos armor, which again would require me to grind out Rathalos plates and wyvern gems, I think. Or Rathalos rubies, I think it is actually specifically. So we're just using this for its resistance and not for its abilities. I do have a few gems slotted in, though, for better abilities, like better dodge. And yeah, we're using the longsword because I ended up picking up the longsword again, even though I said I wasn't going to. And I think I actually like it better in this than I did in Monster Hunter World, because it's a lot more counter-focused, as it has 3 different counter moves. So that, combined with its already good dodging, makes it a fun weapon to kind of bait out attacks from the monsters. Okay, but for this fight, we're going to go with fire resistance. We are going to go with, I guess, defender. She does pretty good damage. And, for the last one, I have a few new ones, but I don't think any of these are really that helpful here. Moxie is basically just a one-time save from death. Essentially, it just leaves you with like 1 HP instead of dying. So it's okay, but don't think it's really that great, especially when a lot of attacks will have a follow-up. It's gonna be weird coming back to this after having played Elden Ring for the last 2 weeks, because in some ways the fights are kind of similar, but in other ways that game is much more brutal on its follow-ups and whatnot than this game is, though they both have very deliberate combat. There's not really any of these that super boost the longsword. Guess we'll just go with medic. I don't know. So yeah, I really gotta pick up the pace with this game because, you know, I'm only at the point now where I've started releasing videos that I recorded like 2 months ago. Or no, I guess this came out in February, so it hasn't been that long, but still, stuff I recorded weeks ago when I was still kind of fresh to the game.
Crawling with a mincing gait, dressed in a white gown, aimlessly she roams, queen without a crown. Her beloved children always by her side, share their mother's temper and her fiery pride.
And of course I inserted the cutscene in there since we already saw it, and since this is a high rank only monster, it actually does get an intro cutscene. So let's grab our items. I don't think this one should take more than 20 minutes, but I could be wrong. With the longsword, maybe not, because it does pretty good damage. But yeah, I gotta pick up the pace if I want to actually get to Valstrox before Sunbreak comes out, because that's supposed to be out in June, I think. So only a couple of months away, and there aren't too many games coming out in those couple of months, so it's not like there's gonna be that many other things taking up my attention. I'm like 80 hours into Elden Ring now, so not that much left, especially because I'm not looking to 100% it. I am probably going to still end up trying to hold B to dash in this game instead of right bumper. But otherwise, I don't think I'm having too much trouble separating the controls in my head. I still sort of remember how to fight with the longsword. It's not that complicated of a moveset. Okay, our target is up in the back. Actually, I could have flown this distance. I kind of prefer not to always fly directly to the monster, though, because then you can grab, you know, the various buffs and get your stamina and HP up a little bit from the Spear Birds. But she does tend to hang around inside the volcano. Alright, there she is. Big webby lady. So, part of the fight is going to be about breaking off her webs to make her more vulnerable and remove her access to some of her moves, and then kind of doing as much damage as we can before she gets it back. She also has a lot of minions. She has all of her baby Rachnoids. So, I guess since this is the first time using the longsword in a video, I should explain it too. The mechanics for it are pretty simple, or the unique mechanic for it. It is just that sword meter next to our sharpness meter, and that has 3 levels that it will go up. Right now it's at 0, it'll go up to white, then yellow, then red, and every time it goes up, it will do more damage on all of my attacks. But there are certain attacks that also use it as ammo. And there's a specific move we have to do to level it up to the next tier. So you can see my dodges are pretty fast and pretty long range, and that's because I have Evade Extender maxed out right now. But you can see she likes to zipline around with her web babies. She'll throw one out and then zip to its position, and she can't do that when her webs are broken. Okay, I have to actually remember the counter cadence for this. Oh, well, she ran into a Rathalos. Wow. She got the knockdown? I don't know, I kind of expected Rathalos to get it. Still, this is going to be some easy damage. Ow, that did a lot of damage. I actually thought his fire wouldn't do much because, you know, she's also fire element. Alright, so let's get our meter full and then do the spirit combo, which is this 4 hits. Or 5 hits, I guess. On the 5th hit, if you connect, you will level up to the next tier. And your sword meter will slowly drain if you're not getting hits. But also, even if you are getting hits, the outer meter will drain. So you have to level it up or re-level it before that drains completely. Otherwise, you go down a level. And all of our best attacks are powered by that meter, so we want to keep it full as much as we can. The easiest way to fill it up is to get a counter. So if we do this and get hit, if we time that correctly, you will take no damage, you will do a counter attack that does some good damage, and you'll immediately go up 1 meter level. And you can actually follow it up right away with the spirit combo to get 2 quick, easy levels in. That was a successful counter. You can see I went up to yellow now, and my sword will actually glow yellow as well. Alright, she didn't like that.
Don't let it get away!
I just hit Y to try to pick this up. That's some more Elden Ring influence. But yeah, she is not too bad. I really thought she was going to be a tougher fight based on the way people were talking about her before. Okay, did she go down or did she go up? I think she went up this way. The unfortunate thing about the counter is you cannot immediately sheath. You have to do an attack before that sheath will work. Sometimes I'll get a weird thing like that where it seems like I successfully countered, but my meter doesn't go up, and I don't take any damage. So I don't know if that was a semi-successful counter. Okay, she's webbing back up. She's repairing her web. I think she's a cool design, though. She's, like, not quite a spider, because she's got that big stretchy neck, but she's very clearly spider-adjacent. There we go. And now let's see if we can get the Helm Splitter in, if I can remember how to do it. Alright, I think you actually do have to web to her. It is kind of weird, though, because the Helm Splitter was, like, the main move for the longsword in the previous game, but here, it's actually a move that has to be equipped. So it's possible to not have access to it if you switch the spirit move. So there's the Helm Splitter. It's the big hit. It costs 1 level to use, but it hits a bunch of times and it does some real good damage. Your actual strongest attack is a combo or a counter of its own. But it costs 2 wirebugs to do. So, it's not the most practical attack. Oh, I'm getting chopped up by her web a little bit. Ooh, that was very close timing. I thought I was going to get hit there. And I did get webbed. Yeah, so she can do pretty good damage with single hits like that. Like, she hasn't really hit me much so far, but she definitely could do some damage. I definitely fucked that up. Oh, and I missed an opportunity. I didn't realize she was stunned. So if I use that attack instead of the counter coming out of the sheath, that will actually cause your meter to go into a boosted level, where it'll start going up on its own even if you don't get hits. So that's handy, if you know you're not going to be able to get a counter in. Okay, let's... Oops. Did not mean to tell him to stop, I just want to use Sharpen. I have started using the quick menu. Someone mentioned that in a previous video, and I was initially like, I don't want to use the quick menu because I don't want to have to keep changing what's on it. And then I was like, oh, you know, there is actually some useful stuff on there that I don't have to change, so I guess I will start using it. Lantern Bug, you can see, gives me that little extra red meter at the top. It's basically just a very temporary shield that'll take a hit for you. It took me quite a long time to figure that out. I was always like, I'm picking these things up and they don't seem to do anything. A little too slow there, though I didn't take damage because of our shield. Also, because of her stretchy neck, she can actually do fire moves in any direction, not just in front of her. She can, like, turn her head and fire sideways. It's funny how she deploys them too, and then they spit out even more webs. They're little webby boys. Now, unfortunately, you can't stay in that sheath stance for very long. If you don't actually do anything for like 5 seconds, you'll just kind of go into non-combat mode. Oh, hello, Rathalos, again. He keeps getting caught in this fight. He's like, nope. So even if the whole combo misses, as long as you get the last hit, it will still level you up. So that's why sometimes I will start swinging at the air, knowing that I'll get close enough for that last hit. See, it's really nice being able to go through attacks like that using your counter, which is not something you could really do in Monster Hunter World. I think they added the sheathing counters with Iceborne, but it wasn't in the game before that. And I can't remember if it was actually a counter.
No.
I kind of backed myself into a corner there. No biggie. She is just down the road. But yeah, I like Rakna-Kadaki. It's a pretty cool monster, and I believe it is new to this game. It's nice having bug monsters for once. I guess there's also going to be like a stag beetle kind of monster in Sunbreak. They already showed off its design. But it's just so many monsters have kind of fallen into the same, like, 3 categories for most of these games, just looking back through the wiki even, that I think they need some, like, weird categories. Like, there is one category of monster that's literally just a bunch of question marks. It doesn't actually have, like, a specific, you know, flying wyvern or fanged wyvern or whatever, but there isn't very many entries into that either, and I think the most well-known of those is Magdamalo, which is a pretty weird monster, but one that hasn't come back for a while. Okay. Would it be faster? I think it'd actually be faster to fly up here and cut her off. She's starting to move north. But yeah, even though I haven't played this for a couple weeks, my enthusiasm for this game hasn't really gone away. You know, I was having a good time pretty much all the time I've played this. There's never really been a certain point where I was like, ugh. Except maybe when I was farming Mitsuzune plates, because I needed to upgrade the Mitsuzune longsword. That took me too many attempts. But other than the grinding part, which is always going to be tedious, I've had fun just playing this and refighting the same monsters to get their equipment. And trying out different weapons. She is just choosing to ignore me. Which is one of those weird things where, because we're in between arenas here, she's more likely to not react even when I attack. Until she gets to the arena. I also still don't know her moves because I've only fought her once. And she also has a completely unique moveset as far as I can tell. There's no other monsters that are using this body type, so she doesn't share moves with anyone. She'll probably share moves with that new bug monster, though. I wouldn't be surprised if it has the same animation set. But because of that, I don't know what her moves are going to be ahead of time. Like, she doesn't have any familiar reused moves. She gets knocked down really easily, but it's because her webs keep getting broken by my partners. Man, that evade extender is so good, just how far you roll with that. And it's not even very expensive to equip. It only takes up like 3 slots. Some of the other useful skills will have like 10 levels, so you'll have to like set half of your armor to just be that one ability. But I am at the point now in the game where I should be grinding out those ability gems, which is easier to do than in Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World, you had to basically grind out the same Elder Dragons like 100 times to get the actual skill you wanted that you could then slot into any armor set. Whereas here, you can just craft those. And it's only the necklace where you have to deal with randomized bullshit, where you make the same thing like 20 times before you actually get the one you're trying to make. She is pretty easy to not take damage from, though, like, as opposed to some of the other monsters, because she telegraphs all of her attacks very clearly. It's just if you want to actually get in there. Also, I remember that one doing more damage, where she goes around like that. That is what killed me twice in the previous fight. Alright, let's see if we can get up to level 3. Before she gets up. Wait, did I break her web before she could finish making it?
Don't let it get away!
Alright. I think she's almost done. Can't really tell. I'm definitely having less trouble with her than I did last time. But I also don't think I was using the ice sword last time. I think I took the water sword, assuming that she was weak to water. And it turns out she's much more weak to ice than water. Plus, this is the sword that has 35% affinity, so it does pretty good damage on crits. And gets crits a lot more often. I don't know really what her parts are that you need to break in order to get more drops. Okay, well, we got this just because we kept hitting her with those air attacks, those Helm breakers, so this is basically just some freebie damage to slam her into walls. And then we can get in here and get another level back for the Helm breaker that we just used. So yeah, there's a reason that... Oh, I didn't do the last hit. There's a reason that Longsword is one of the best DPS weapons. Also, the overhead Y attack is not a good one to go into the sheath with. I keep making that mistake. B is the one you want to do because that's just a poke. Like that one is kind of slow, but if you do the B, it's just a little like that, and then you go into sheath, and you're ready to counter. That is such a good counterattack. It's so obvious that she's going to do it. And watch, now I'm going to die because I said that. I'm not sure if the healing boosting Dango actually affects the easy rations. It doesn't seem like they do, or the easy potions.
Now's my shot.
Because the regular potion healed me for a lot more there. Uh-oh. Out of the way, Ludroths. I guess, actually, the best way if you need to sharpen in the middle of a fight is to use your doggo. Sometimes I still won't get into the sheath fast enough to do the counter. Also, I'm pretty sure that she gives you fire resistance armor, so that'll be a good replacement for Anjanath. Hoping that it has some good skills, though, because I'm also at the point in the game where the skills on your armor actually do matter. They don't really matter so much in low rank. But in the later stages of high rank, you're definitely going to want to go for the skills that determine your actual build. And then you use decorations to supplement those skills and add on the ones that they don't come with. But that gets a little tricky because also, you know, the armors all have elemental weaknesses and resistances, so it might have all of the skills you need, but it makes you super weak to certain types of monsters, so you're going to want to have something else to switch to. That was definitely premature. Ah, crap. Thanks, Kala. Wow, she just immediately did it again. You can also counter that roar, as I've mentioned before. It can be a good way to get a easy hit in at the start of an encounter.
Wonderful work, my friend.
I'd like to get the big counter in at least once, but I need a very obvious attack for it because, well, it lasts for a decent amount of time, so I guess I don't need to be super prepared, but it does kind of leave you standing there for a while. And it has to be an attack where I'll actually hit her, because if I did it there, then I wouldn't actually hit her. See, so that's it there. You just kind of sit there, and if she hits that shield, you do this massive damage hit. Apparently one of the most damaging single hits you can do in the game. Okay, she does that, and then she does the big spiral around with her head, which hits in all directions. Can very easily catch you by surprise with that. So not too much damage there, because we're not at red level. It's still a pretty solid hit, considering most of my hits do like 30, or like 20. But I saw in the tutorial video that I watched for Longsword, I saw them do like 900 damage with a single hit on that. So you can really buff it up. That was very close timing. I was very sure I was going to get hit there. There's also a third dodge that I haven't been using, just because it does very minimal damage. It's really just a don't take extra damage from this hit kind of move.
Some humans could learn from you.
I do need a quick sharpen for my sword build, but I think I didn't want to grind out the items to make that. Come on, Kala. Alright, she's looking kind of weak. She's flashing blue. Don't really remember what that means. That's one thing. I don't know if they ever actually give you a guide that tells you what the icons that appear on the monster actually mean. You're just supposed to kind of infer it. I think she's going to sleep, though. And that means she is almost done. Because monsters only sleep when they need to heal.
No more holding back!
See? Sometimes if you have to wait too long for a move, you'll end up just standing there with your sword put away like an idiot. So you usually want to either attack or roll away. Oh, fuck. I just got paralyzed by a bug. Goddamn bugs. You know, like most of the ambient wildlife will back off when there's a monster nearby, but those bugs will just fly right up to you and get a hit in. Gonna do the big circle again. Oh, she's crab walking while doing it. So that one doesn't count, but I didn't take damage either, so it's good enough, I guess. Not gonna work. Can I reach? Oh, just got the little bit of her toesies, so that counted as a finisher. Alright, now let's see if we can get the big counter hit in. She blocked it with her legs, so I didn't get the full hit. And that also uses one of your meter. Forgot to mention that. I think those are the only two moves that use your meter, is the Helm Splitter and the counter. The big counter, not the little one. This one doesn't use anything. Which means there's no reason not to constantly try it until you get the timing right. I don't think I've seen her do that before. Maybe just because I wasn't indoors when she was using that move. But I bet if I had done that when she was still on the ceiling, it would have knocked her right off. So that's the other dodge right there. It's just basically a step you do, and if they're attacking as you do it, you won't get hit. It's also very easy to break out of that web. Like, it doesn't take as long to shake off as, like, a stun from another monster would. Really? She's running away again? Alright, she's looking pretty weak, though. So I think this will be our last encounter with her. Definitely going better than the first time. The first time I had no idea what to expect from her moves. And it's a shame that I kind of lost that recording opportunity, but there is still a decent number of monsters I've never fought to be surprised by. I think I'm looking forward to probably Chameleos being one of the next ones to see, though it's not probably the next one that I'll record that will be unlocked. I guess the two wind dragons are probably actually the next Elder Dragon I'll see, or first Elder Dragon I'll see, really. I've already fought one of them, technically, but I didn't actually do, like, a proper hunt. It was a rampage mission, so, you know, it just shows up at the end of the monster waves, and you sort of see some of its moves, but not all of them. But I imagine that I'll get a chance to fight it properly soon. This poor Rathalos. He just keeps getting dragged in. Oh, and I killed him by poking, or I killed her by poking through the Rathalos with my mounting attack. So she was very weak. It's a very small Rathalos. Yeah, that's Rakna-Kadaki. Cool monster. Definitely good variety from some of the stuff I've been fighting up to this point. And I'll probably have to fight her a few more times to get the rest of her stuff. I'm not sure what the next video is going to be, though. I was thinking of doing high-rank Magdamalo since I didn't do low-rank Magdamalo, and he is a pretty cool fight, so the extra challenge of high rank might make it worth checking out, even though I've seen his moveset. Fought him a decent number of times. Not too many, though. I didn't actually have to really grind Magdamalo to get the parts I needed. But it would be nice to fight him again and get my blast stuff upgraded. Because there hasn't really been any other blast weapons since finishing low rank. Alright, about half an hour, so it was still a decently long fight. I was expecting it to go a little shorter. But we only got down once, so that was mostly just up to her being a tough monster. Okay,
What would you like
so
to
let's
do?
see, what would be next? Yeah, I think Magdamalo, and then the rest of these are all refights. Oh, Rajang is the other one that is a high rank only monster, so that one will probably be a video as well. Apparently, it's real tough, and this is the monster that ends up giving people more trouble than they expected when they're new. But I guess he's been a returning rough monster for multiple games in the series. Yeah, the rest of these are all refights, and it's only these three that actually contribute.
Master Hojo drew all the monster pictures. Aren't they great? I'm trying to learn as well, but it's fair. Come back anytime.
And let's see what we've got for Rakna-Kadaki. Because I actually don't even remember.
Give it to me.
No, I don't want to make it. I just want to look at it. Alright, kind of what you'd expect from a webby spider, but also very metal underneath. It's like lacy bits attached to regular armor. Reload speed and spread up. So this is a like bowgun type armor, which is not going to be great for me.
Looking for something new?
I don't think there's a Rakna-Kadaki tree. Probably not for the sword, at least. Maybe switch
What
axe?
can I help you with?
I don't know. It could only be ranged weapons. Because, yeah, it's not looking like she has any weapons of her own in here. Alright, and what about our buddies? So Ibushi, Wind Serpent Ibushi, is the Elder Dragon that showed up for that rampage, but I have not unlocked a regular hunt for it yet, so I'm guessing that's going to be the boss of this set of missions that I unlock. Alright. Oh, that's the Ibushi. Whoops. I was going to say, it's very fluffy. So, Cat Priest in spider garb. Or Fancy Dog. A lot of red in there compared to all of the other armor sets for it, but there's still some purple. Alright, well, that is Rakna-Kadaki. I'm glad to get that out of the way because I tried to record this 2 weeks ago, like I said, and I haven't touched the game since then because I'm like, oh, I gotta get that video done first before I get too far in. So yeah, I guess expect the other two from this from this set of,
Welcome to the hub.
what are these, 7-star missions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, rank 7 missions
See you later then.
before we get into the Wind Serpent and the other serpent, Narcilia, I think. I forget what her name is. Or no, Narwa. That's what it is. Narwa the All-Mother. Anyhow, until then, you folks all take care. Let's see if we can. I don't think there's a goodbye. I think the wave I started the video with was actually the goodbye. So we end as we begun.